Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. In this video, we are going to discuss about National Education Policy. If still you haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe it now. Don't forget to like and share my video and keep the bell icon on so that you will get notification about every new video that I will make for you. Let us start.
The National Education Policy 2020 is third of its kind in the history. For the first time in 1968, Parliament passed the first National Education Policy. Again in 1986, Parliament brought the second National Education Policy. In 1992, it was revised. The second National Education Policy was revised. And the new National Education Policy 2020, which came after 34 years, is third National Education Policy. If we will talk about the shape of education that is going to be changed after the introduction of the new National Education Policy 2020, then we can underline three important points here. Number one, the easier board examinations. The board examinations were made more easier. Reduction in the syllabus. The syllabus has been reduced. Thrust on critical thinking. So this part is very important. Thrust on critical thinking. Adding more to it, the 10 plus 2 structure is going to be replaced with 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 structure. Here, the preschooling, that is the Anganwadi and KG1, KG2, they are brought under the curriculum, main school curriculum. The foundation stage will be between 3 to 8 years of age. The preparatory stage is between 8 to 11 years of age. So 5 plus 3 plus 3 structure. Okay, 5, 3 to 8, 5. The 5 part is 3 to 8 years. 3 is 8 to 11 years. The middle stage is 11 to 14 years of age, and the secondary stage 14 to 18 years of age. The early, as I told you, the early childhood schooling between the age group of 3 to 5 years, earlier which was not under the main school curriculum, was brought under the ambit of formal school curriculum. Let me tell you that the midday meal scheme will also be extended to the kids of that age, that means up to the Anganwadi kids. Okay, so we can underline four important stages here, that foundation stage, preparatory stage, middle stage and the secondary stage. The students up to class 5 here will be taught in their mother tongue or regional language. So this is a important point of national education policy, that the children will be taught in their mother tongue so that they can understand things in a better way. If we talk about the shape of higher education, the University Grants Commission and the All India Council for Technical Education, AICT, both the pioneer organizations which are earlier regulating the higher education system, they will be replaced with the Higher Education Commission of India. And this Higher Education Commission India, will talk about this Higher Education Commission of India later. Okay. Indian higher education will be opened for foreign universities, and the 4-year multidisciplinary bachelor's program will be introduced with exit options. The institutions may offer different designs for master's program. Along with that, we should not forget that the MPhil program, which is an intermediary program between the master's program and the doctorate program, that MPhil program will be discontinued. The provisions will be set up for a National Research Foundation. We will talk about the National Research Foundation in another video. Okay, and all institutions offering single streams will be phased out. There would be no art, science and commerce stream. All universities and colleges must aim to become multidisciplinary by the year 2040. A time frame has been put forth that by 2040 they all have to abolish the stream system. The Higher Education Commission of India, if we will talk about, is that will be on improving academic standards and the quality of higher education. The Higher Education Commission of India, a repeal of University Grants Commission Act Bill 2018, has introduced the Higher Education Commission of India. Four underlying principles of a Higher Education Commission of India are: number one, less government, more governance. It will focus on academic only, and the grant function will be separated. It will be handled by the Minister of Human Resource Development, which will be renamed as Minister of Education. End of inspection era, and focus on enhancement of academic quality. Okay, as I told you, the grant and academic function was separated. The academic functions will be taken care of HECI, Higher Education Commission of India, whereas the grant function will be taken over by the Minister of Education. Okay, the Higher Education Commission of India will have a chairman, a vice chairman, a secretary, and 12 other members. They will look after only the academic activities. Simultaneously, the Higher Education Commission of India has the power to revoke approval of an institution not complying with the standards. There is a time frame, okay. And again, the Advisory Council will be chaired by the Human Resource Development Minister, which is going to be renamed as Ministry of Education. Okay, Education Minister, we can say henceforth. The next important characteristic feature of National Education Policy 2020 is setting up of National Testing Agency. The National Testing Agency was established in 1860. Okay, so it was not new that it is going to be established. It is already there, which is conducting entrance examinations for admission or fellowship in higher education institutions, and it will be chaired by an educationist appointed by the Human Resource Development Minister, an educationist. But here, henceforth, the Human Resource Development Minister will be read as Education Minister, because the Human Resource Development Ministry is going to be renamed as Education Ministry. Okay. Among others, the 4-year bachelor's program is an important characteristic feature of national education policy, where students can have an exit option, okay, at any stage. Okay, the students can exit after first year with a certificate, second year with a diploma, and third year with a bachelor's degree. The master's degree or the post-graduation program will be continued, whereas MPhil program will be discontinued. Students will be allowed to do PhD after the master's degree. After master's degree, they will be allowed to do PhD, the doctorate, that degree that you are getting. MPhil is intermediary between the master's degree and the PhD. Now that MPhil program will be discontinued. Master degree will continue as it is, whereas after master degree, directly they can do PhD. Okay, there is no MPhil degree in the middle. Clear? So, important things are: first year students can exit with a certificate, second year with a diploma, and third year with a bachelor's degree, and again they can return anytime and continue their study. If we talk about implementation of the model, then education is a concurrent subject. So we cannot say that unidirectionally once this one will be cleared by the cabinet, then it will be implemented. No, it is required, okay, for the state and the center to work together in order to implement this one. So, because it is a concurrent subject according to the 42nd Amendment Act, so what it is, education was put under concurrent list. So, it is not mandatory and can only be implemented in collaboration of the center and the state. The entire policy will be implemented by 2040. If we talk about the authorities who can take actions regarding this, then it is topped by the Human Resource Development Ministry, as I told you, the Education Ministry, State Education Department, School Boards, NCERT, Central Advisory Board of Education, National Testing Agency, and with all these, what will happen, a yearly joint review will be published. Okay. Thank you for watching my video. Hope you all enjoyed it. In order to get more such videos, please like and share my video, subscribe to my channel, and put the bell icon on. Thank you.